Bajaj motorcycles have been synonymous with affordable performance and especially the Pulsar range. Back in 2012, when Bajaj introduced the NS200, that motorcycle took the affordable performance game a notch above. In its 9-year life cycle, the NS200 has gone through 2 emission updates and several cosmetic changes. That has resulted in a gradual yet a substantial price hike. Back in 2012, the NS200 retailed for 84,000 and the same motorcycle will cost you 1,39,000 ex-showroom today. In 2017, Bajaj introduced the NS160 for 78,000 rupees. That motorcycle has breached the 1 lakh rupee mark and today retails at 1,15,000. This has given Bajaj the opportunity to introduce something smaller, tinier and more affordable and yet very sporty. And that is where the NS125 enters. Now this is a sub 1 lakh rupee performance oriented motorcycle that shares most of its underpinnings from the NS160. Now will a small heart live up to the NS badge? Here is what we think.
You're watching the AutoX YouTube channel. You can also get your daily dose of all things automotive on our website autox.com and follow us on social media. Don't forget to check out our monthly magazine and make sure to hit the bell and subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.
The NS125 here is identical to the NS160 and the 200. There is a familiar face, clip-on handlebar design, we've already seen that, a familiar tank design, split seat design that continues, grab handle, cowl, even the tail lamp unit is still the same. But of course there are a few differentiating factors in the NS125. If you observe closely, there is a smaller disc, slimmer tires, slimmer forks, new graphics and an absence of a disc brake unit at the back. Most 125cc motorcycles and scooters get features such as all LED headlamps, turn-by-turn navigation system, Bluetooth connected features for your smartphone. The NS125 here misses out on all those things. Even features such as side stand engine cutoff, a gear position indicator would have been a thoughtful addition in my opinion. This motorcycle also gets the dated part digital, part analog instrument cluster and it is about time Bajaj addresses that and updates it to an all digital unit. As we mentioned earlier, the NS125 continues with the clip-on handlebar setup as its elder siblings. But that does not mean it is any aggressive. The handlebar reach is fairly easy and the foot peg setting is mildly rear set, but that does not cause any kind of discomfort. The seat height is 805 mm and even in this rough setting I can plant both my feet on the ground and that is a +1 in my opinion. The split seat design offers enough room for the rider as well as the pillion. The seat is set on the firmer side and it does not cause any discomfort on a prolonged period of riding. The NS125 shares its suspension components with the bigger NS160 and that basically means it gets mechanicals from a motorcycle positioned a segment above. However, the suspension setup is very stiff and the ride quality becomes very harsh, especially on broken road surfaces. The NS125 here uses a 125cc engine. Now that is a derivative of the NS160's engine, but while the NS160 uses an oil cooler, this one is an air-cooled unit. Also, this makes around 12 bhp and 11 Newton meters of torque. While it may sound a little less, it is more than adequate to keep up the pace with the traffic or a little ahead. The gearbox is a 5-speed unit and the shifts are very slick. Combine that with the light action clutch, it is very easy to go up and down the gears in traffic situations. The engine likes to be revved. Beyond the 70 km/h mark, the motorcycle still has some grunt left into it and it can take you up to 90 km/h mark. But after that, the acceleration fades away. But if you have a long enough road in front of you, you can pin it down and see a speedometer reading up to 105 km/h as I did this morning. The stiff suspension setup complements the overall handling. The chassis stays flat even under hard acceleration and braking. The perimeter frame is very predictable, but the C8 tires that the NS125 gets from the factory robs away a little bit of rider confidence. Now, as we mentioned earlier, the NS125 comes with a rear drum brake unit instead of a disc brake, and that is just not adequate for the amount of performance this motorcycle offers. There is very minimum stopping power and very little feedback from the brake lever and the brake pedal. Now, I suspect Bajaj is likely to upgrade the NS125 with a rear disc brake option, but that is reserved for the final quarter of the year 2021. The pricing of the NS125 is very closely matched to the pricing of the Pulsar 150 Neon Edition. And if you're in the mood to spend 1 lakh rupee ex-showroom, there is also the Yamaha FZ F5 which is in close proximity in terms of pricing with this model. While both of these motorcycles offer larger capacity engine, more power, more torque, and they may seem logical options, let's not discount the NS125 altogether. As NS125 offers underpinnings from the NS160 such as the perimeter frame and suspension unit, and a tractable engine which makes sure that you have a very engaging ride. Now with all that in mind, the NS125 brings a very unique package on the table. It offers tractability, usability with a touch of sportiness. NS125 is a performer in my books, and it offers an involving ride that some motorcycles that in the 150 segment miss out on. Yes, the NS125 lacks a few features and the dated design could be a deal breaker, but this is a very well judged product at an attractive price.